It's the 9th of March 2025 and it's absolutely like a summer's day here in rural Ireland. Sun is beaming down there and it's warm. It's just like a summer's day, a real spring day. So it's great. And I'm out and about. I'm not doing any servile work, as they used to say. I'm just doing tidying up and little planning and thinking about things that we will do when I get down to it. And fitting and measuring, stuff like that. So be soon time for lunch. And I made 2 videos earlier on the situation in the world. And the more I think about it, the more I realise that we are in a very dangerous place. And I think a lot of my subscribers and commenters here believes that there's a dangerous place. Now, the strange thing is, we look at the history of Europe in particular. They were always fighting with each other. They were always killing. There was really no need for the First or the Second World War at all if any little bit of common sense had been taken. But that wasn't the case. And it's not just the British, it's the French. They went off raiding Russia with Napoleon. It was the British. They fought each other at Waterloo. The Italians had Mussolini. And the Germans, sure, they caused awful trouble. So they plundered Africa. That's kind of gone now. So we look at it anyway. They have a history of not getting on with anybody. Now, I would say, and many people would say, that Europe could have kept out of the Ukraine war altogether. If they just keep out of it, it might sort itself out. Putin probably would have taken a piece of it and thrown the rest of them there. There's no evidence that he's going to take the whole lot over. We'll see how that goes. But whether it is or not, Ukraine is not a member of the EU, so I don't know why we are being tied into all this hysteria. Now, the other thing about the EU and about Europe is hysteria. They're always at hysteria. They were burning witches way back 500 years ago, burning women alive for being witches. And those of them that went off over to the New World, to America, at Salam, in America, they were trying to burn them alive too, only they were a little more civilized to just jail them until a judge realised the whole thing was a bloody cod, a scam. Now, so there is no possibility of Putin invading Britain or France or anywhere like that, or even the Baltic states. But they have surrounded them with NATO, and Russia doesn't like it. They wouldn't like it if when Russia went to put nuclear weapons into Cuba. They soon stopped it. So what's good for one should be good for the other. So there is a culture of fear among them, and unelected officials in the EU running the show, Ursula von der Leyen for one. But if Russia's not the enemy, what would be the enemy? And I know that there is an actual enemy. There is an enemy, a potential enemy, that is a major threat to Europe. You'd probably not guess what it is, and the sun is coming in there a wee bit bright. Sorry about that. It's a major threat for Europe. And that threat is themselves. They're afraid of each other. The Germans are afraid of the French are afraid of the Germans, the Italians are afraid of the Germans and the French, and the British are afraid of the French. They've been fighting them for years, and afraid of the Spanish. They launched an armada against them. That's who they're afraid of. If Big Daddy America goes and walks off as Trump, he really doesn't see what's the point. One thing Trump realises, and I agree on this, is this. If I'm just doing something here now, if no matter what the United States does for the Europeans, they'll never change their vote. A few of them might. They'll never give any gratitude. What President Trump and Vice President Vance saw with Zelensky in the Oval Office in the White House is just one of what every one of them would say to him. Give me all you have, give me all your money, and hump off. Get out of here. Just keep your troops here to keep us safe. So there's no mileage in it for America at all. And Trump is beginning to see through that. And so they're afraid that the Americans will go. They're afraid Americans will pull out of NATO. And they say, we got to get an army together. Putin will be coming in. Well, Putin will not be coming in. That's just the same as the climate scare and all the scares. If they were interested in national security, they wouldn't have the migrants in the numbers they are. They wouldn't be bringing in migrants to destroy Europe, their countries. So that's a scam. But each other are a threat. They're a big threat. How could you get Macron and the German fella Merkel that's coming to agree on anything? How could you get them to agree? How could you get the French and the Germans and the British to agree? They never agreed before, and they'll never agree now. They're afraid of their own neighbours. And Putin is sitting back laughing at them, and Trump may soon be doing the same. So they're talking up war. They're talking up raising the money for war when they have no money to raise. And they're not democratic, so they can bully the ordinary person like you and me. They already have us subdued with free speech. Enoch Burke is being persecuted by the Irish state for he was constructively dismissed and he wouldn't call a boy they. So he's one. In Britain, it's worse. They're really all the grannies are in jail and ex-policemen and all for just posting tweets. So they are well on the way to a police state. They're well on the way to the Hitler type state, the Nazi state. That's what's built into them. That's what's in their blood. And they don't like playing second fiddle. They didn't mind being playing second fiddle to the Americans. It was nice and cozy. But if the Americans just go and leave them, who will they play second fiddle to? They'll never agree. From my own personal view, I crave the dissolution and the breaking up of the European Union and its destruction. I made it clear before. I think I'm going to see that coming. It will take a while, but I think I'm going to see that day arriving. All right? So we leave it at that, folks. Isn't that unbelievable? I'll bet you never thought of that. Ursula von der Leyen is afraid of the French and the Italians. Giorgia Meloni, a good Prime Minister of Italy, has said she's not committing money or troops to Ukraine. Ireland, under Micheál Martin, they'll send in every one of the Irish youth and kill every one of them. Kill every one of them, and he'll get on the radio then, he'll be able to say, oh, this is terrible, we condemn this attack on our own people, after him starting the war. Simon Harris will do the same, and unfortunately Mary Lou McDonald will do the same. So they're aiming to kill Irish people. Whether we let them or not is another day's work. Okay, comment underneath. Isn't that a good way of looking at it? Why are they creating this hysteria about, or this madness about Putin? They're a crowd of blithering idiots. And the people who vote for them are also a crowd of blithering idiots, and will never, till they die, ever change their allegiance to the people doing this, even when they bury their own kit and kin. We'll see you back soon. Comment underneath. Bye.